there was a homicide in the 2600 block of University Place, and I knew who was murdered. I knew who the suspects were. It was two suspects, and I just knew that just by hearing things in the neighborhood, but I really wasn't sure. So one day while on the beat, homicide detectives Herman Johnson and Dwayne Stanton, they pulled up in a block. And before this, I didn't really know any of the homicide detectives on the job. I just knew some of the detectives from the 3rd District. But these guys pulled up. And when they got out their car, they were just different. They had suits on. They had hats on. They had like expensive shoes on. I'm looking at these dudes like, shit. They look like something that was on television. And their presence it was just different. So they walked up to me and asked me about the homicide. I told them I didn't know anything, which I was lying. But Dwayne Stanton challenged me. He said, he made me feel bad. He said, if this is your beat, he said, if you don't know everybody on your beat, you're a worthless officer. You're a piece of shit. And when we come to you and we asking you things, you supposed to have the answers because this is your beat. You said this is your beat, right? And I'm like, yes, this is my beat. And then Herman Johnson jumped in. Oh, that guy don't know shit. I mean, they were like, I don't know if they was playing games with me or belittling me. I don't know what they was doing, but they was pissing me off. But they were making some fine points. So Johnson said, look, man, if you ever get anything on the damn case, here's my card, give us a call. So they left. And when they left, I felt so bad because here it is, I had opportunity to meet guys who I be seeing on the news all the time. And just their presence was like golden. So a couple days later, I contact Dwayne Stanton and I said, look, I'll be down your office in a few minutes. I got somebody I'm gonna bring with me. I got one of the suspects. And he was like, shit, you serious? I said, yeah. And what happened was they lit a fire under me and they challenged me because being in that neighborhood is like, I'm just the neighborhood uniform guy. I'm the basketball coach in the neighborhood. I'm the godfather in the neighborhood. So I didn't want to interfere. I didn't want to interfere with homicide business. Homicide was not my responsibility. But them dudes pissed me off. So they challenged me. It's like, okay, all right, okay, fine. So I went and got one of the suspects. I went to the guy, I mentioned no names. I said, I need you to come downtown with me. He was like, for what? I said, the murder of, I can't remember the victim's name. And he said, for what? I ain't going down there. I said, look, man, just go down here with talk to these homicide guys, man. They think they this, they think they that. If you ain't do it, just tell me you ain't do it. But I got to bring you down there because they challenge me and make it seem like I don't know what I'm doing. I need you to come with me. He said, all right, fine. So he riding down there in the front seat of the car. We chilling, we talking, having a conversation. Because I used to play baseball with him when I was 12 years old. So I knew him. So while we sitting and talking, he said, look, Mitch, I'm going to tell them anything, man. I need you to give me a ride back. I said, all right, cool, whatever. I said, but, man, I ain't like the way them dudes was talking to me. So we get out, walk up to the office, to the homicide office. When I walk in that office, let me tell you, when I walk in that office, all I saw was like heroes. These guys I see on the news, these guys were just like fine wine, man. These were like the G's, man. These were dudes who were like the guys on the movies watching gangster movies. They were dressed, they were, man, oh my God. I was starstruck. I was like, wow, I'm looking at these guys like, damn, I'm in here with him. So I take my guy to the back. I give him to Detective Stanton. And while I get to Stanton, I'm looking around at some of the other guys. I'm looking around. No one talking to me. No one ain't saying nothing to me. It's like I'm not even there. So I was a nobody to them. So Dwayne Stanton takes my guy to the back room, which was called the Blue Room at the time. And Stanton said, once you come and sit in the monitor and watch me get a confession. I said, dude, you ain't gonna, I said, who gonna confess? The guy you brought down, we about to get a confession from him. I said, whatever. So he like, watch. So I go to the monitor room, I'm watching him. Now, I'm confident that my guy, who I brought down there, is gonna hold up, be strong, and don't give up no information. And I'm sort of trying to prove to the homicide detectives that you ain't as good as you think you are. So I'm sitting there watching in the monitor. The first thing they started doing was they just started having a conversation with him. So I'm sitting there like, what are they doing? They didn't talk about no murder. They didn't talk about nothing. And at the time, I didn't know what was going on, but they were building a rapport. So they talking to him. I'm in the room like telling my guy, come on, man, don't, just hold up, man, hold up. So they kept talking to him. They kept softening him up. And then they start talking about the case. And I'm sitting there watching them, and I'm just watching, this guy too comfortable. I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, my man is too comfortable. I wanted to go knock on the door, but I knew that was wrong. So then one of the older guys, I think Detective John Love, it was John, he was like the tallest one in the office. He walked in and said, watch them go to work. So I said, nah, my man not gonna confess. So I'm sitting there watching, and John Love walked back out the office, and I'm like, I mean, walking back out the room. So I'm sitting there watching and watching. Slowly, my man just started getting soft. He started talking. He started telling. He started admitting to things. And I'm sitting there like, they don't got no evidence against you. Why are you running your mouth? And they broke him down so easily, so smooth. I was like, shit, I want to be like them. Because I've never, ever seen anybody admit to anything. And this guy just admitted to killing someone, being involved in a murder. So they brought him back out to me, and they said, you give your man a ride back. And at the time, I didn't know anything about Miranda rights or how when you bring a suspect in, if they come in voluntarily, you let them go. I didn't know anything about that stuff at the time. So they told me to give him a ride back. So I'm giving this guy a ride back. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing in there confessing for? You made me look stupid. And he was like, man, you know, they told me that if I, you know, tell the truth and, you know, I won't get that much time. So basically, they got him. So I give him a ride back uptown, just totally confused, totally just like, what the hell just went on? So once I dropped them off, I came back downtown, and they were in there typing paperwork or whatever. So I asked Herman Johnson, I'm like, dude, what just happened? He said, your man confessed. And I'm like, why you let him go? That's when they explained to me how they had to let him go because he came in voluntarily and everything. And I said, damn, y'all really got him to confess. And I remember clearly Dwayne Stanton was like, look, man, do you know you just brought in a homicide suspect for us? And I said, yeah. He said, that's big. He said, many officers just can't bring a homicide suspect in here unless they drag him in here or unless they arrest him. You brought the homicide suspect into our office. And I didn't know the importance. I had no idea of what I had just done. I didn't know I'd done something that a lot of people could not do. So they explained to me that I had the sort of look, whereas I can be a detective one day. And when they said that, I was like, you serious? They said, yeah. They said, you brought a murder suspect in here, and we about to close a case because of you. And I was like, shit, yeah. I said, well, why y'all talk to me the way y'all talk to me when I was on the streets? They said, we just want to see if you was going to hold up to it. So you play right into our hands. We challenged you. You showed us that you are the man in that community. You showed us that you can do the job, and you did it. And now the case is closed, thanks to you. And they pat me on the back, but still the other guys in the office wasn't looking at me. They didn't say nothing to me. I was nobody to them. And I was just shocked that I was able to do that. So when I ride back to uptown, I was still like, damn, I could be a homicide detective? So that just stuck to me. So that particular point, that's where I wanted to be a homicide detective, because I thought Dwayne Stanton and Herman Johnson were like God. They just got this dude to confess, and they had no evidence against him, and he told them what he did. And that blew my mind.